My wife told me she's pregnant, but she doesn't know I'm infertile. My wife, female 33, and I, male 34, have been married for 3 years, together for 6. She's always been one of the most amazing people I've ever met. No huge fights, love languages match up, and we're both fairly active people, which has been why we've had such a strong relationship. And that's why this is so difficult for me. We've both been doing well in our careers the last few years. She's in marketing, and I work independently as an IT consultant, allowing me to set my own hours and be flexible. How flexible? We decided last year that we wanted to start a family, with her likely keeping her job full-time and me scaling back to part-time. We've both been anxious, but excited to have our own kids. Long story short, I was diagnosed with azoospermia last December. A blockage in the pipes meant I wasn't producing any baby juice, and it's curable with surgery, thankfully. And we finally got it scheduled for July. She has a high spicy sleep drive, and as do I. So we've still been very active. But there should have been no way I could have gotten her pregnant. She missed her period this week. I couldn't imagine that she might actually be pregnant, right? The babies are bottled up until they get the blockage out. She took 3 tests though, and sure enough, each one was positive. At first, I was stunned because this shouldn't be possible. She's never been unfaithful and never given me a reason not to trust her. I'm not the jealous type either, but I'm literally stuck. The doctor said this couldn't happen. And I can't believe my wife would jeopardize the future we've been so excited for over some fling when we have such a great emotional and physical connection. My wife has been ecstatic. She's given no indication of guilt or worry that she may have cheated. She was so excited when she found out that I didn't express my worries. But she left for work and now I feel completely torn. What if she did cheat? Looking back now, there are a few tiny things that didn't seem like issues, but now have me racking my brain for clues. Her job often has her taking clients out for dinner, and it's not uncommon for her to get back later in the evening. She definitely had a busy last few months, but that's normal for her job. She always wears one of the same 2 perfumes, but she came back one night smelling completely different. I remember seeing a text message on her lock screen of just a winky face, but assumed it was one of her girlfriends.
Could be.
I don't know what to do. I set up an appointment on Monday to see if there's any chance it could be mine. If it is mine and I accuse her of cheating, I would feel like the world's biggest a-hole. But she's coming home in a few hours and I don't know what I'm going to say to her. I can't stop thinking of these small things that may have been her cheating and I just didn't see it. Do I wait until the doctor appointment Monday before talking to her, or do I bring up these insecurities while she's celebrating the pregnancy? I'm worried I won't be able to hide what's going on. I should add, I have been cheated on before. Our relationship has been pretty healthy, but that old fear is creeping back in now. Fair. This is bringing up some old emotional scars and it's just effing with me. I'm usually never this insecure or uncertain about being straightforward. I think I need to just find some way to bring it up without being accusatory. Comments? I'd say you should wait for the appointment. Biology can surprise us sometimes, but prepare for the worst case scenario. OP says, should I take her with me to it? I'm weighing the choices between that and going alone. I'm going to have to bring it up anyways. There's no way I can hide this when she gets back. Another user says, I literally just studied this. Oh, so although you've been diagnosed with azoospermia, it means that when they looked at your juice in the lab, it didn't have any little wigglers in it. However, you produce a lot of the juice, and the lab only looks at a little bit of the juice, which usually gives a good response. Usually, you would repeat several times before concluding that diagnosis, although just because the lab didn't see any baby juice, it can mean that you had an incredibly low count, so none of their samples from the sample you have showed any. This doesn't necessarily mean that, for example, in the normal processes of a normal guy, having 30 to 900 million little swimmers, it's usually about 15 million per milliliter. It's possible you maybe even 1,000 little swimmers per milliliter and you would still be diagnosed. Yes, okay. OP replies, goes, man, I hope you're right. I don't remember exactly what they said. But are there any forms that would have a complete lack of a baby juice count? They seem to be convinced that it was completely blocked off, but this was all months ago and I don't remember exactly what they said. And there is an update. 2 days later, I took a lot of what you guys said to heart. I had an ex years ago who cheated on me and it really left a scar. It wasn't until I got more involved with sports and getting in better shape that I was able to move on. My wife and I actually met in a soccer league we were in together. We've had so much trust for so long that I thought those fears had gone away. It wasn't until now that I really started to feel shaken like that again. But I didn't want to let my past get in the way of what could be just a huge blessing. A few people really articulated the right way to communicate my feelings without being accusatory and being respectful to my wife, who's never really given me any reasons to doubt her. It's not uncommon for her to sometimes be home late and she'll usually go straight to bed. I didn't want to dump this on her immediately and decided to give myself a night to sleep on it. I got up pretty early, just being restless, went for a run, and cleared my mind. I couldn't wait any longer. I made our favorite omelets and told her I needed to talk to her about something. She says, you know, I'm not Ashley, right? She knows me well. Ashley is my ex who cheated. So first, I apologized. I apologize because I let this build up in my head for so long without talking with her about it sooner. What should be a blessing has been nothing but insecurity and fear for me. We talked for a while. I told her how happy it made me to see her ecstatic and excited for the baby. I told her how much I loved the relationship we've built together, and I felt like an a-hole for questioning her loyalty. She had never given me a reason not to trust her, and I still couldn't emotionally get over the thoughts of infidelity because of my ex. She thanked me for telling her and knew how hard it was for me to get over that. She volunteered to have us get a paternity test right when he or she was born, which made me feel better at first. But something still felt off. I honestly don't know why. Something about how she was so eager to get a paternity test and almost not mad at all for having kept this from her. Normally, she would have been upset that I didn't bring it up right away, but there was just a weird feeling I couldn't shake for the rest of my day. It seemed like she was saying all the right things, but I couldn't get rid of this clawing feeling inside of my head. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe there's a gut feeling that I need to listen to, but I ended up going to the appointment alone, as we decided it would be good to see if I still needed the surgery. Turns out it is obstructive azoospermia. I've read so many stories about people who were supposed to be infertile who ended up getting pregnant, so I brought that up and how my wife's pregnancy was affecting me. The urologist thought it would be pretty unlikely that I wouldn't need surgery to have a kid with how mine was presenting. He mainly tried to skirt around the topic and mostly pushed me towards making sure she was actually pregnant. Being there didn't really help. I feel like I just got more uncertainty. She had another night out until 8:30 last night. We talked about scheduling an appointment to verify the pregnancy when she got home. She seemed a little confused, but then quickly agreed. She promised to do it in the morning. I asked how work had gone, and she gave me a kind of non-committal answer about her boss pushing her too much and being stressed out. Nothing huge there, but she did seem just off a little bit. I really couldn't put my finger on it. We were still acting all lovey-dovey, but something just felt wrong, and I couldn't talk about it without repeating the same conversation we had Sunday. I've been trying to throw myself into work to distract myself, but I haven't been able to focus. We have a joint checking account that we'll sometimes move money in and out of, but really only use for groceries or household items, unless we talk about it beforehand. This morning, she moved half of it to hers, about $1,700. We don't do that. She has never needed to do this before. And I checked our healthcare portal. She made the appointment for the time Thursday that I mentioned I was busy working on site. We were supposed to go together. I'm starting to go crazy. How do I bring this up without just having the same conversation again? I'm looking into getting a second opinion for myself, but I need a litmus test from objective outsiders to know if I'm really losing it or if this seems weird to someone else. We have a second update. I've been trying to center myself. We talked calmly for a bit on the phone, and she claimed she moved the money out in anticipation for the deductible payments she'll have with different visits. I didn't bring up anything else, but she seemed a little impatient with me, probably rightly so, and I implied we'd have a longer talk when she gets home. I'm just trying to not overreact right now. I don't know what to think. This is either a misunderstanding on my side and I'm a father or not. Thankfully, she's not working late today. Update 3. I went for a long run to clear my mind. My wife should be home soon and I'm going to go into the conversation without judgment, just objectively walking through the facts and why I'm still struggling personally with some of them. Regardless of what happens, I'm done with any confusion left between us. And a note here, OP's asking Redditors for a script to ask his wife. Hi, honey. I was looking at our medical portal to see when might be a good day for an appointment, but noticed that you booked it for Thursday. That's okay. I'll take some vacation and come along. It's too important to be close to you for that appointment. Chat about other stuff briefly, and then, oh, by the way, I noticed you moved $1,700 out of our joint account. Was that for the appointment, or did I miss something? We have some more comments here. Do you have any sick time? Call in sick on the day of the appointment and go anyway. She's technically already kind of agreed to go together, so it makes sense. She can't argue with that. OP replies, I wouldn't want to surprise her, but I think I might wait until she's home and mention I can take the day off and see what she says. Another user says, solid plan. Honestly, I hope it ends up just being a misunderstanding for your sake. It's better to be sure. And it's not as though you're being unreasonable. OP replies, thank you. I'm trying to get all my uncertainty out to make sure I don't just act on fear. I'm a little uneasy how popular the post got, even though she rarely uses Reddit. I'll probably have to take this down eventually. Update 4, 3 days later. We finally sat down after she got home last night. I told her everything that was going on, the urologist, the money, the upcoming appointment. I told her how even with all of her reassurances, there are too many suspicious things that are happening. She agreed how everything looked and immediately apologized. She didn't realize how much my last ex's cheating was still affecting me. She knew I was off going into the weekend, but thought we had addressed that. We talked about it Sunday, but I can get pretty internal with all these worries and not show them outwardly. So while she thought we were communicating, I wasn't. We decided to start from the beginning and go through everything together. The money was the real problem for me. She agreed how inconsiderate it was with where my head was at to do that without mentioning it. Apparently, the prenatal visits are so structured that they want you to set up a payment plan right away, and she wanted to make sure it was squared away to keep the appointment. She offered, without me prompting, to call them with me tomorrow to verify that, or if I really wanted, we could move the money back. She does get better rewards out of her account, so it kind of makes sense. We read up on my condition, and it doesn't seem like they're often invincible force fields. It seems like only the actual absence of the vas deferens guarantees complete infertility, so it's possible for some to get through. We're going to go back to the original specialist I was working with last year and hopefully get a clearer picture. It turns out the appointment she made was the only time they had available so soon, and she figured it'd be best not to wait. I told her I took off work to go with her, and she was relieved I could join. Once again, she said all the right things and seems genuine about getting us on the same page. After going through each thing, I was just wishing I believed her a little more before. She's stressed out with work and when she'll have to take off, but she really seemed to want to go out of her way to alleviate my concerns. She even offered an open phone policy if I needed. We did look at the text I had seen, and it was just a girlfriend. I declined though. Right now, since I don't want to be that husband, this has really made me take a deeper look at what's in my past and how that still affects me today. Fire, that was a bar. Even thinking back to this weekend, it was so hard to see in the moment how much all the uncertainty was affecting me. That level of anxiety literally makes you question everything around you and if it's real. I think trust but verify is the best way to put it. I was just trying to verify without any of the trust, that's all. This has put a strain on our marriage right now, but I'm feeling more like we're a team again, working towards easing that. She thought that a non-invasive prenatal paternity test ASAP was a great idea, as long as we also get some kind of counseling together. I'm not big on therapy, but I can probably agree that it will most likely help. I'm feeling a little better about everything. It's time for me to hopefully be a father, and update 5, the paternity test came back initially positive for anyone that's going to see this.
Okay, wait, yeah,
That's his child.
That's his kid.
There's no cheating.
I did doubt it, but I never fully was on the cheating train, and I'm proud of it.